Hello, this is Kara. I'm going to talk about Dianic Wicca and transgenders. Dianic Wicca, if you don't already know, is a little branch of Wicca where they only celebrate the feminine aspect. They revere divinity as just the goddess alone. And yeah, there's an issue where transgenders want to be a part of that, and they're not necessarily welcome because people within the Dianic Wiccan religion think that only women that are born women should be a part of it. The transgenders are like, hey, I'm all woman, I got all the parts, I've done all the surgery, I'm all woman up in here. And they're like, no, you're not, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of people think that you have to be born a woman to be a woman, even though the physiology lines up. I mean, you got the parts, but some people think that you have to be able to bear children, and that's what really makes you a woman, and having your monthly cycle is what really makes you a woman. And in certain respects, yeah, that's kind of true, but also you got people that are born uh, without functioning ovaries or without ovaries at all, or maybe they're born without a uterus. I mean, it happens all the time. There's all kinds of anomalies within nature and how we're born. And what about hermaphrodites? I mean, hermaphrodites are born fully functional with both complete sets of male and female genitalia. So what are they? Are they just exempt from spirituality because they, don't represent the male or female? They're both. I mean, it's really ridiculous. But it's kind of, there's one thing, like Native Americans, I learned about a certain tradition within Native American, and I'm not certain what tribe, but certain Native American traditions have an actual name and a word in their language for people like this, transgendered, or I don't know, they're called two-spirited. Maybe you've heard of it. Two-spirited. They actually respect them and consider them to be more highly enlightened individuals and people that they go to, visionaries even, you know. So, I don't know, that's kind of cool. But, honestly, let me see. I'm probably going to bounce all over the place with my thoughts on this one, but it's not uncommon for religious traditions throughout the world to say, hey, I only want men in this tradition. I mean, it's more commonly for it to be just men. Men have usually been the ones that have been allowed in certain traditions religiously around the world, and women have been the ones that have been not allowed. But really, it comes down to it basically comes down to this kind of question in my mind, is what the hell does physiology have to do with spirituality anyway? I mean, isn't the whole idea of spirituality to connect and align yourself with spirit that is above and beyond the physical bone, flesh, and blood? I mean, isn't that the whole point? So last time I recalled, I don't think that spirit had genitalia. I don't think that the divine source was male or female. I don't know if I think that the god has a willy whacker hanging around. So it really doesn't make sense to me why a certain gender wouldn't be allowed to worship a certain aspect of divinity, whether it be male or female. That's just my thing. But, some people think that they do. Some people think that, and that's their right. Honestly, whoever created Dianic Wicca has the right to say, I only want women in this tradition. Because, people have the right to say whoever they want to be in their little coven. If they only want people with polka dotted hair, green eyes, and blue shoes to be in their coven, that's their right. Honestly, I don't know why, as a transgender, you would want to force your way into a tradition that doesn't want you. Like, we're not, as pagans, going to the Christian church and being like, let us in, knock, 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 we want to be a part of your church. We're not doing that, and nor would we want to, and nor would they want us. So why do transgenders, who are not apparently welcome within the Dianic tradition, want to be a part of it? I think you should just create your own. I mean, if you really want to worship only the feminine goddess aspect of life and nature and divinity, then create your own little branch of Wicca or subset of Dianic Wicca that is welcoming to men, females, hermaphrodites, puppies, kitties, whoever. Because, that's all they did. That's all they did. They just saw Wicca, was within Wicca, and then somebody along the line said, hey, I just want to celebrate the goddess, and so I'm going to create my own tradition. And that's what they did, and that's what people have been doing for hundreds of thousands of years. Within Christianity, there are so many branches of different traditions within Christianity alone. And that's because somebody sat around the church and said, I don't necessarily agree with every single one of your rules or views on this whole situation, so I'm going to create my little subset and call it Lutheran, or I'm going to call it, you know what I mean? So make your own. That's my advice and my opinion on the whole matter. Don't try to shove yourself into some place that doesn't want you. Make your own damn, all feminine worshiping sect of Wicca. There's no reason why you can't. And, in this day and age when you can take a test online and become a priest, for God's sake, why not? I don't know. That's how I view it, honestly. I don't think that our physical bodies should have anything to do with our spiritual practice in the way that it determines whether you are allowed to practice a certain tradition or not. That's just how I see it. I think I covered everything I wanted to. So, that's it for now. Talk to you later.